So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about quality checklist. I'm going to show different examples here. So different examples, I'm going to explain this quality checklist. How do we prepare this kind of a checklist for our construction projects? Okay, with the example. Okay. So you can see here in the slide, this is the basic template or typical quality checklist for site works. Okay, so when I say site works, it means that a construction project site. Okay, so what are the different works that have been undertaken, and what are the different checklists we create for different works? So I'm going to show some example here. So in the slide one, you can check. There are two images, checklist 1 and checklist 2. In the checklist 1, you can say what are the different data, things that have been mentioned in the checklist, like whether it is architectural, structural, interior, service or utility. All those things are mentioned, and the name of the customer, project name, project ID, location, quantity, all those things are basic information we have to collect it while doing the checklist. And in the checklist, you can say for surveying and setting out what kind of checklist are they preparing. Okay, so you can see here is contour or survey plan is available. So there are options like yes, no, and NA not available. So the quality control inspector will come and check each and every checklist, and he will tick whether it is yes or no. Okay, even if there is any remarks, he will mention in the checklist itself. Okay, so you can see another, next part of the checklist, like establishment of coordination points, grid lines in both direction, block levels, spot levels, etc. Is it as per drawings? So from this checklist, one can understand that, like in a checklist, everything will be like a questionnaire. Okay, it should have some question, yes or no question, kind of a thing. So always we need to make sure that we will prepare a checklist based on that particular format. Okay, it should be like yes or no type of question, like whether or not are they doing, is it adequate, is the excavation done as per the level of drawing, so something like that. Okay, so we need to make sure that the format has been properly maintained in the checklist. There should not be any long or short answer, something like that explanation. So we need to be very short, and should be clear message. Okay, while reading it to the quality control inspector or team. So another checklist in the third point is check for setback. Are they as per the norms of local authority approved drawing? So this is one checklist, and another point is check whether there is any variation in the actual marking, whether it is recorded, reported. Okay. So always you can see that they are ending with question mark. Okay. Only then we can able to say it says no or NA. So location of individual structural elements like column footings, columns, piles, etc. Are they as per drawings? So we need to check each and every aspect of work involved in our project. So those things are to be checked, okay, according to the checklist provided here. So we also make sure that we cover everything in the checklist. We should not leave any thing unchecked while creating a checklist. Only when you create proper checklist, it will ensure that proper quality has been maintained, and those things have been checked appropriately. Yeah. So at the end of the checklist, you can see there is a thing called corrective action proposed, item wise. So if you mark no, then please specify reasons and therefore corrective actions is proposed. Add additional sheets if necessary. So we can able to make sure we can add some extra data, or we can mention that in comments itself. So comments is like remarks where you can mention something and you can communicate to the corresponding manager or engineer. Okay, whoever is responsible. So we can tell them and we can make sure that doesn't happen again. Okay. So there is a bottom, there is a signature for client representative, contractor, and the company. Okay, representative. It can be manager, okay, the project engineer, someone like that. Okay. So we can go through another set of work. The checklists have been showed here. So for earthwork or backfilling. So for earthwork is the format for surveying complied with. Whether suitable arrangements for rerouting the service lines be done. Is the layout, arrangement, and size of excavation marked on the ground as per drawings? So always here the checklists have been prepared based on the as per drawings. It's kind of a question that is being asked regularly. So is adequate shoring starting be done? Check for dewatering, is that okay? And can say that is excavation done as per the level as per the drawing. So in the backfilling, can you see that is the earth used for filling as per the specifications. So always they are making like as per drawing or as per specifications. This is very important. We need to mention that only then they can check with the the predetermined specification in our project. So similarly, we have corrective actions, the bottom and the signature. So in the next slide, you can see another work, concrete pour card. So it is very important when you go for pouring of concrete. We need to make sure that we are preparing and submitting this particular type of checklist. So for formwork, while doing concreting means you involves formwork, other things also, reinforcement, bar bending, sampling, everything. So we need to see every aspect of this particular work. Example, you can start off with farm work. So farm work means level, plumb, cutouts, and reinforcement. If they are saying like it is as per bar bending schedule, double bars, link, bridging, and welding. So all those things covered here. And services uh, like size, trimming bars, and in general construction joint waterproofing. So sampling is also mentioned here, whether the mix is as per the drawings, design, number of samples, and identity. So all those things, if it is yes, there's no problem. If one or two makes no, then you have to make sure you give some proper corrective actions. Okay, and you send it to the engineer. So engineer responsible will take some corrective actions, and he will make sure that it doesn't happen in the next part of the book. Okay, when next uh, site work. Okay, so next important aspect of work in the checklist is waterproofing. So waterproofing, you can see whether approved and specified materials used as per specifications. Check for surface preparation. Is it okay? So they always ends with is it okay? Check for grouting. Is it okay? Check for plastering after coating. Is it okay? So everything ends with this kind of type of question. Format is it okay? So we need to make sure it is okay or not. Okay. Just check for curing, check for grouting, check for fixing of nozzles and spacing. So those type of questions, we need to know as an engineer while preparing a checklist. So we should not, uh, make sure we should not create a checklist with like check for curing. That's it. Okay, we need to end with is it okay or something like that. Okay, we need to end with question mark. So the next type of work we're going to discuss is external partition wall. Okay, masonry work. So here we have they're given some different checklists. So initially they are mentioning the thickness of the wall. So in the top you can say what kind of wall it is, brick wall or hollow block, solid block, gypsum, something like that. What type of wall we are going to use, we are going to tick it and we are going to start the checklist. Okay. So the check for alignment and location of the wall, check for placing reinforcement RC branch as per specifications, check for mortar mix proportion. Is it okay? So check for sizes of openings for doors and windows. Are there any other service? AC duct, cable tray, etc. And we have another part like interior partition wall, like top type of partitions, whether it is a timber frame, aluminum frame, or GI frame. So we need to mention that type of frame. And then if it is wooden partition, check for anti-termite wood, preventing a treatment provided. And height of partition, half height, whether the hall frame sufficiently anchored in the floor, and true ceiling. So these are some things that you have to taken care of while creating a quality checklist. Okay. So in the next part of the work is plastering slash painting. Almost both the work are same, almost same, but the materials are different. Plastic and the painting. So in this work, you can say check for completion of preceding activities like fixing of service conduits, water supply and sanitation lines, etc. Whether chicken mesh corner beads used as per specifications. So whether we need to check whether all those things are implemented in the site. Okay. Check for thickness and number of coats of plaster required for further activities. We need to important. I mean, it's very important point. We need to check the number of coat. Sometimes the site engineer will say there is only two coats. Sometimes people will say there is three coats. Something like that. One coat. Oh, it differs. Okay. So in painting, prior to painting, check whether the approved make and shade are used. So we need to be very careful here while doing quality checklist. We need to make sure we are using proper approved make and shade. Okay. So customer will come something and we are doing some color means they won't accept it. So we need to make some correction in the later part. So that's why we need to make sure it is approved the color. So only then we can go for painting. Okay, what kind of color we are choosing or customer is choosing, you have to adopt that. During and after painting, check for applications of painting. Is it uniform? You need to check that, very important. And check for number of coats. How much number of coats we have done. So everything is fine, then we can proceed for next type of work. Okay. So joineries, fixing doors, windows, and ventilator. This is an important point. So here they are talking like whether specifying materials and approved samples are used. So sometimes you will have wooden doors or something steel doors. We need to make sure that the materials have been arrived. Okay, whether the proper materials have been taken used. Check for the correct size of frames, shutters as per the drawing. Is it okay? Check for proper primer painting, powder coating, anodizing coating, fishes to frames before fixing. Is it okay? Check for proper fixing and grouting of frames with hold fast. Check friction panel, top closes, door closes, floor spring, whether provision is made. Locks, handle, weather stripping, weather stripping. So those things have been checked for this particular work, like joineries. The next work is interior fall ceiling. So this is another important for not for residential but for commercial and industrial. Like they used to do interior works. So in that case, we need to check this. Like, is it a grid type? Check whether the grids are marked as per the drawing so that the location move. Okay, the service ports. Check whether the frame work and auger rods have been as per specifications. Check for any cornices. Check for painting of ceiling. So whether it is painted properly. Okay. So these are the things that have been checked for ceiling interior part. So of course, exterior part is very easy than the interior part. Interior part, the difficulty is like when you go for painting the ceiling or someone in inner part of the building. So it's been very difficult. There won't be any visibility. Okay, that is one type of problem we encounter. So electrical insulation works. So electrical insulation works. I can say that code of practice of electrical wiring installation. Whether we are following the code of practice, that we have to see. Code of practice of installation of electric and code cell system, call system, and code of practice erection of electrical bell and can call sorry maintenance of transformers. So here in this electrical installation, they have mentioned the code books, whether the actual work is as per the codal provision mentioned in the code books. Okay. So especially we need to see the 10028 part 1. So that is very important. So next part of the work is fabrication work. I'll just read the list of checklists provided here. So before fabrication and after fabrication. Before fabrication means check the following preceding activities, check the quality of materials, test certificates of materials submitted. Approved, obtained for the fabrication drawing. Check the approved wedding rods used. Check for fabrication material free from muds, stains, and other materials. So we need to check all those parameters here mentioned here in the fabrication box. And after fabrication, you need to check whether the material section as per drawing, whether working length as per drawing, fabrication materials to ready for the sandblasting, whether all the innovative sanction woods be assembled in the member industries. We need to check every aspect and we need to send the report to the concerned manager or engineer. Okay, but we need to make sure it's all completed. Okay, in the project. So here you can see that the quality control of concreting. So concreting work, what are the different quality control aspects we need to check? So you can see here. So in this, you can see that a contractor number, site engineer, inspected element. The form is given here, a typical concrete quality control form. So number of vibrators available, process of compaction, satisfaction or unsatisfactory. So we need to tick it or we have to mention the time and details, everything in the form. Okay, this is a consultant form. So in the top you can mention the project name and the consultant name and what different aspect of quality control we are doing. The starting time, maximum recorded temperature of the concrete, which finishing time, average slump, table ID, everything will be mentioned here in the particular report. And at the bottom, you can say that comments. So we need to give some remarks so that the engineer will take some necessary action in the execution part. So here we can see another quality control form. So this is slightly different from this one. You can say the particular area, speed of concrete, and the slump value, design drawing. The refer. So all those things are mentioned in the bottom. You can see the sample form, date of test, and there is a table. Okay, this table is nothing but the table we need to put for compressive strength of the brick or concrete. So length, width, height, area, and you can say that is a compressive strength, and then type of failures. All those things have been mentioned here for different time period. Like since it is a concrete, we need to measure the strength by 17, 14, 17, and 28 decibels. Okay, only then we can say the quality has been appropriately maintained. These are some references I have taken for preparing this particular lecture. Thank you.